Part 3 of the challenge. We're going to put pivot permutations to great use in a blues. I hope you didn't miss the last 2 episodes of Talking Technique, because we've been working hard to get our fingers ready to put pivot permutations into action. And that's what we're going to do today. So welcome to episode 41. And we have been using pivot permutations in the combination 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 3. And we've been going up the string. And we've been doing that at high tempos, really shedding our technique in the process. And when we turned around using the mirror image. So Talking Technique 39 and 40 are the ones that you want to catch up on in case you missed that. But today what we're going to do is we're going to take those pivot permutations one step further. All this preparation we've been doing to get to this point has been for really good reason. We want to now be able to do this in between 2 strings. So rather than returning to my pivot note on the G string, I'm just going to move my pivot note 1 string down to the G, to the D, and pivot to this string just by returning to it. Again, I'm alternating with my right hand. That's why we've been practicing this so hard and working so much on getting this index middle finger on autopilot. That's really going to be paying off now. And we're going to march all the way up. And I like to throw the extra challenge of the mirror image in on top. So now we're gonna end up like this. 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 3. That's my chosen number. And now we're going to turn around with the mirror image. Again, you need to catch up on those last 2 episodes. 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 1. And the pivot is now off of the 3rd finger. So I'm going to move my pivot finger down to the D string. I am just making up these rules, right? You could pivot against the G string and do this, right? That would be entirely fine to do. I just choose to put the pivoting note as the lower string. Okay, let's practice that. In order to practice that, I'm going to set the metronome to 8th notes at tempo 138 today. If you wanted to get this up to speed, please check out last episode, because I had some wicked tips for getting yourself up to speed for those permutation exercises. Today I'm just going to do 8th notes, and then I'm going to use it in a creative context. So my speed is 138, and I'm doing 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 3, marching up, and then I'm going to try to turn around in tempo 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 1, pivoting off the D string when I go down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I started with index with my right hand. I'm going to see to keep this up through the switch. Now that's good practice. Feel free to take it slower. Feel free to use the tips that I gave you in the last episode to speed it up. And now I'm going to do the same thing, but skip a string. So I'm going to pivot not off the D string, but I'm going to pivot off the A string. But that's really where you're going to appreciate that you're alternating here systematically. All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Index. And still the index is my leading finger. All right, so that's a good warm-up for what's about to come. What we're going to do now is use this idea of pivoting in a blues. Now, we can't use exactly the same pattern, but you will see very quickly how this sort of practicing pays off for what we're about to do. We're using a blues. We're using a quick change blues as a background track. It is a blues that goes to the 4 chord in the second measure, and it's a pattern that stays on the 1 chord in the end. So it's a strict 1, 4, 1, 1, 4, 4, 1, 1, 5, 4, 1, 1 blues. And I will be using a pattern that pivots to the second finger. Not precisely the pivoting permutation that we've been shedding, but the principle we've been practicing. So the independence and this idea of returning to the same finger, to like a pivot point and to a string that is lower, and that is below the one where I play the other notes, this idea is going to come through. That's my pattern. And I'm going to lay that over the blues, starting with index. Just for kicks, I want to do it with middle as well. Now this time around, I'm starting with middle. How about we skip a string? And now, of course, I have to start this with the middle finger just to be complete. Here's another idea for the blues pattern. We're going to pivot with the pinky finger. Tough as it is, but we're going to keep referring back to this high A. So the pattern looks like this. Okay, starting with index. Now I'll start that one with the middle finger on top. What ideas can you come up with using pivot permutations as a springboard for ideas, playing through changes? You got something you want to share? Post it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. This was another episode of Talking Technique, a 3-part challenge for you. Thank you for coming along for the ride. Systematic teaching, how I like it, being comprehensive, going step by step. Put a lot of thought into this, have a great team that works with me and supports me, and to bring you those Talking Technique episodes. If you like my way of teaching, please check out the course, Music Theory for the Bass Player, the course, the book, the wall chart. I have lots of resources for you at arisbassblog.com. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers.